one.
So these are our pancakes. They're malted buttermilk pancakes with a brown butter square and hazelnut praline.
So yeah, if you could show us how you make these.
Yeah, absolutely. Go this way. First, take our dry ingredients. Mix the dry ingredients so it's nice and homogeneous. Make a pit for the wet ingredients. Add our wet ingredients.
So how do you get the pancakes to be so flat? Or
Fluffy.
fat?
Fat.
Fat does not equal flat.
We cook them slowly with the right amount of flour to wet ingredients so that they puff up like a cake. So it's done slowly over a low heat.
So what are these? So this is buttermilk going in.
This is buttermilk. That was eggs beforehand. The dry ingredients are flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and some malted barley.
And Peter wants to know how many pancakes this will yield.
This will, the amount that I'm making right now will probably yield maybe 75 to 80 pancakes.
75 to 80 pancakes in this big bowl. There's a lot of pancakes. But I'm sure how many times?
On the weekends we'll do 10 times this amount, which will give us about 300 pancakes.
So you serve 300 in a weekend?
Yes.
Wow.
Individual pancakes, each order comes with a stack of 3.
How many pancakes does this make? This makes 70 to 80. Diane, this makes 70 to 80 individual fat, fluffy pancakes.
Correct. And very important part is not to overmix your batter. You would like to have a consistency of like about cottage cheese, so that the flour and baking agents, rising agents will kind of souffle within the pancake. So we're getting to that point about right now.
So if someone wanted to make this at home, what would you recommend they do to their typical batter?
I would, after you mix your initial ingredients of dry and wet, I would let your pancakes set and rest for about 10 minutes because it allows all the leavening agents to really do the work that they're supposed to do within the batter. So that's a really important step. Alright, so let's go to the point where we want it at. And we already have some made, so.
Nice. And for everyone just tuning in, we're learning how to make these fat, fluffy pancakes at Sunday in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg. They are seriously fat. And that's a malted sauce on top. Alright, so now we're gonna see some get flipped. Should we head over here?
Yeah. This is a busy pancake service. Give us a second. So right now we're seeing a lot of orders happening right now. The center of the icon, this is actually a French top. Primarily this should be done on a griddle, but we make do with what we have. This is the highest point of heat. So we try to surround the pancakes around that area. These will cook a little bit slower than this area around here. So we'll just we're this is about ready to flip. You can see that it's starting to rise on the sides and like lift off of itself, and the top of it will start to dry out around the corners and edges. That's how you know it's almost ready to flip.
So you couldn't make these on like a normal griddle because it wouldn't get the same.
You absolutely can. You can use fire here, and I just keep it really low, like barely on, and it'll pretty much cook the exact same way. So once you flip it, it should look exactly like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and flip this. This is the fun part. I like to try to release it with the edge of my spatula, and then there's like a up and down motion, and then I clean off my edges a little bit, so you have a nice little circle.
So is this the most popular thing you sell for breakfast, would you say?
I think it's kind of a challenge to take the whole thing. It's people use it as a dessert thing because it's so massive. But it's like definitely one of our most popular items, what we're kind of known for.
So you get 3 pancakes in one order.
Yes.
It's giant. You can see some finished up here.
And because we sell so many at one time, we can't. Sometimes we'll have to like get a little ahead, but they're never more than 5 to 10 minutes old.
Smells so good. Janine, we're in Williamsburg at Sunday in Brooklyn. So for people just tuning in, why don't you cook on a flat top?
Because this restaurant did not have one when it was created. So we took over from Insa, which was a restaurant before us, and kind of just making the best of what we have here, which I think is pretty good.
Other things. Breakfast is in full force here.
And you can see that this is probably close. Actually, it's got a lot more time. One of these though. Let's see here. Still more time. I'm looking for color and kind of like a completely cooked center. Well, not kind of. That's what I'm looking for. They take about, once you flip them, they take about 4 to 5 more minutes after the flip to get them cooked all the way through. But once they are, you should just break one open for you. Have a nice soft center, fluffy. So, yeah, if you guys are hungry. Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to see?
We could see some batter going into.
Oh, yeah, good idea. And then by the time I drop a few more, we should be able to like pull one out of the pan. So.
And if we could learn a bit more about the sauce too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, start on this side. Use Pam spray. Everyone can get this at local grocery store. I go for about 4 ounces in about a 5.5-inch pan. And then that's pretty much all there is to that. Give it a little shake so it's all consistently through the pan. And I'll put it near, this is already a hot pan, so it should begin cooking and browning immediately.
So you put it in a hot pan?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the reason for that?
Sorry. The hot pan actually starts to cook, well, for us specifically for time purposes, we needed to cook them as fast as possible, but also the hot pan starts the cooking process, and if it doesn't cook fast enough, it will also not rise the way
Got it.
Does.
Got it. So Bodana missed the batter part. Did you use buttermilk in these?
Yes, it's buttermilk and eggs for the wet ingredients.
Got it.
This should be pretty close. Yeah, okay. So on that side you see nice browning, and then you can just stick your spatula in there and see if it's done all the way, which we see that it is. And then that's ready to land on the plate.
They're pretty plates.
Nice and pink.
You see you do a whole stack with the sauce again?
Oh, of course. Of course.
So what goes into the sauce?
The sauce? Okay, so we get a lot of hazelnuts in, like about 2 cases a week, and we actually toast them in an oven until they're nice and golden brown and very aromatic. And then we blend them into butter, what we call a robo-coop. It's like just a giant food processor essentially, which you can do the same thing at home with a Cuisinart. And then we turn that into basically liquid. Like the butter is like very hot and liquidy. And then we mix it 50% with maple syrup and mix a little bit of water in so it's not just like thick, because it becomes very thick as it cools down. And then we add a little bit of salt to taste.
Cool. People are wondering if you can deliver.
We do
to
deliver.
Like Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. Oh.
I don't know if that will work out.
No,
they wouldn't be as fresh. They like to serve these within 5 minutes, so I don't think it would be fresh enough. Oh, and there's a very pretty accent.
Oh, yeah, that's our sausage. Yes. And then this one's got it done. Try. Yep. Ready to go. Third one, ready to go. Oh, okay. Nice, nice stack there.
That's a beauty.
It's gorgeous. And then I'm gonna add the cream. About 1 ladleful is about 2 ounces. I like to move it around so even consistency. Then we add butter pat. We actually brown our own butter, pour them down on trays,
Oh wow.
and then cut them into squares. So
Brilliant.